When Katie Thurston stepped out of the limo on Matt James's season, she instantly set herself apart from the crowd. The anticipation was high, and all eyes were on her as she made her way toward the mansion, ready to make a first impression that no one would forget. She arrived with a vibrator in hand, breaking the ice with a joke about how it got her through the pandemic. It was a move that was bold, hilarious, and refreshingly real, something viewers had never quite seen before on the show. Katie's entrance wasn't just funny, it was a statement about embracing who you are, no matter what anyone thinks. In a sea of pageantry and carefully rehearsed introductions, Katie was unapologetically herself. She didn't try to fit into the mold of what a contestant should be, and viewers loved her for it. Her authenticity and sense of humor made her stand out from the very beginning, and fans immediately took notice. She quickly became the house's drama caller, never afraid to speak up when things got tense. Katie was also a champion for the other women, offering support and standing up for what was right, even when it wasn't easy. Her willingness to call out bad behavior made her a trusted friend and a force to be reckoned with. So when it came time to pick the next Bachelorette, Katie was the obvious choice. Her journey on Matt's season had made her a fan favorite, and people were eager to see what she would do with the spotlight all to herself. Her season, hosted by Tayshia Adams and Caitlin Bristow, promised a new era for the franchise, one focused on honesty, open communication, and sex positivity. With 2 former bachelorettes guiding her, Katie was ready to break the mold and redefine what it meant to look for love on national television. Katie made it clear from the start that she wanted a partner who could match her wit, confidence, and sense of humor, not just someone who fit the fairy tale image. She was searching for something real, and she wasn't afraid to ask the tough questions or have the hard conversations. From night one, she demanded respect from the men and set a tone of authenticity that would define her entire season. Katie wasn't interested in playing games or putting up with drama. She wanted genuine connections and wasn't afraid to lay down the law. Katie wasn't just another contestant. She was determined to write her own love story, no matter how messy or unpredictable it got. Her journey was about more than just finding love. It was about staying true to herself every step of the way. Katie's season brought together a truly memorable cast, each man bringing his own unique story, energy, and perspective to the journey for love. From the very first night, it was clear this group would be unlike any other. Grippo quickly emerged as the early frontrunner, charming, sensitive, and deeply connected with Katie from the start. His vulnerability and sincerity made him stand out, and viewers couldn't help but root for their instant chemistry. Then there was Michael Allio, the widowed single dad whose maturity and moving story touched everyone's hearts. His devotion to his son and his openness about loss brought a depth rarely seen on reality TV. Andrew Spencer, the charismatic football player, brought a sense of fun and lightness, but also wasn't afraid to have real, important conversations about interracial relationships and identity, making his presence both entertaining and meaningful. Each man offered something different: Greg's intensity, Michael's emotional depth, Andrew's playfulness and honesty. The house was a mix of personalities, backgrounds, and life experiences, creating a dynamic environment where anything could happen. Then, just as the group was settling in, Blake Moynes arrived mid-season. Already a Bachelor Nation veteran, Blake was convinced he and Katie were meant to be, and his confidence brought a whole new energy to the house. His unexpected entrance shook up the house, leaving the other men surprised and even a little threatened. Suddenly, Katie was forced to reevaluate her connections and consider new possibilities. The mix of personalities led to unpredictable drama, heartfelt friendships, and genuine moments of vulnerability. Tensions ran high, but so did the laughter and camaraderie. These weren't just contestants, they were men with real stories, hopes, and dreams, making Katie's journey all the more compelling and emotional for everyone watching. With so many strong connections and heartfelt moments, the stakes felt higher than ever, and every rose ceremony was truly anyone's game. As the journey continued, Katie's choices would only get tougher, and the emotional roller coaster was just beginning. The season's most gut-wrenching moments came with the departures of Michael Allio and Andrew Spencer. These weren't just ordinary exits, they were the kind of goodbyes that left a lasting mark on everyone watching and on the people involved. The emotional weight of these farewells set a new standard for the show, reminding us all that reality TV can be heartbreakingly real. Michael left after a heartbreaking call with his son, choosing family over the show. The decision was agonizing, but it showed his deep love and commitment as a father. In that moment, viewers saw a side of Michael that was vulnerable and authentic, making his departure even more poignant. Katie was blindsided, and viewers felt the raw, real pain of his exit. Her shock and sadness were palpable, and the audience at home couldn't help but empathize with her heartbreak. It was a reminder that sometimes love stories don't go as planned. Andrew's goodbye was just as emotional. After being sent home, he returned for closure, leaving Katie a note. "If you change your mind, I'll be waiting." The gesture was heartfelt, and it gave both of them a chance to express feelings that words alone couldn't capture. Their final hug was bittersweet, showing respect and affection even in heartbreak. It was a moment that spoke volumes about their connection and about the difficulty of letting go when feelings are still strong. These goodbyes weren't about drama, they were about real people making tough choices. The sincerity in their actions resonated with viewers, who saw the courage it takes to walk away from something you care about deeply. The show reminded us that love isn't always simple, and sometimes the right decision hurts the most. The pain of these moments was a testament to the genuine connections formed, and the reality that not every story has a fairy tale ending. Both exits left Katie and the audience wondering what might have been. The questions lingered long after the episodes ended, sparking conversations about love, timing, and the choices we make. The season's emotional core was never clearer than in these moments. These goodbyes became defining points, shaping the journey for everyone involved and leaving a powerful impression on fans. Sometimes closure is the most important part of the journey. In the end, it's these honest, vulnerable moments that remind us why we watch and why we care. Then came the Grippo breakup, the season's most explosive moment. Greg, once the frontrunner, poured his heart out after hometowns, needing reassurance from Katie. Bound by the show's rules, Katie held back and Greg unraveled. Their conversation spiraled into confusion and hurt, with Greg accusing Katie of being inauthentic. The next day, he ended things, leaving Katie devastated and questioning everything. Fans were split. Was Greg overwhelmed by emotion, or was he manipulating the situation? Regardless, the breakup was raw and unforgettable, changing the course of the season. Katie was left shattered, unsure if she could continue. The fallout sparked debate across Bachelor Nation. It was a turning point, one that made Katie's journey more real than ever. Sometimes the biggest heartbreaks teach the hardest lessons. At her lowest, Katie found hope in Blake Moynes. Blake, a familiar face, arrived mid-season, bringing confidence and emotional maturity. His timing was risky, but for Katie, he was a lifeline after so much heartbreak. Their connection was instant. Blake was steady, supportive, and all in. As other relationships faded, Blake became Katie's rock. In the finale, he proposed and Katie said yes, ending the season on a high note. But reality set in after the cameras stopped rolling. The couple struggled with distance and public scrutiny, announcing their breakup just months later. Their split was amicable, but it left fans questioning if reality TV love can last. Katie's journey with Blake was passionate, but ultimately short-lived. The fairy tale ended, but Katie's story was far from over. Sometimes the right person isn't forever. The Men Tell All special brought drama and closure. Old feuds resurfaced, and Connor B got a hilarious on-stage kissing redemption. But the real emotion came when Katie faced Andrew and Michael, sharing heartfelt goodbyes. The After the Final Rose special was even more intense. Katie confronted Greg, accusing him of gaslighting and quitting when things got tough. The conversation was raw, with no reconciliation in sight. Emotions ran high, but Katie stood her ground, making it clear she was moving on. The specials highlighted the emotional toll of the show and the strength it takes to walk away. For Katie, closure meant letting go of the past and embracing her future. The drama was real, but so was the growth. In the end, Katie chose herself. After her breakup with Blake, Katie stepped away from Bachelor Nation for good. She found a new path in stand-up comedy, using her wit and honesty to connect with audiences. Comedy gave her control over her story. No producers, no edits, just her truth. Katie also became a vocal advocate for mental health and self-love, sharing her struggles openly. Her journey shifted from finding love on TV to finding herself. She inspired others by embracing vulnerability and authenticity. Katie's post-show life is about growth, humor, and happiness on her own terms. She proved the final rose isn't the real prize. Finding your voice is. Katie Thurston's story is a reminder that the best endings are the ones you write for yourself. And for that, she deserves a standing ovation.